Hey, what's up, y'all? Jonathan here with Fit Alchemist 33, but you won't find me under that username, under that channel on YouTube anymore because they have deleted it. So be sure to check the links in the description below so you can follow me on my backup channels, and also check out my Patreon. Consider donating or becoming a member to support the channel. So for this video, I have a few things I want to show you guys, and they all center around the date March 4th. So I think March 4th is either the day or at minimum is an extremely significant day when it comes to Nisara, Trump, the global currency reset and all that. Now you guys have probably heard of the Baron Trump collection. It's a collection of books by Ingersoll Lockwood, Travels and Adventures of Little Baron Trump and His Wonderful Dog Bulger, Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey, The Last President. So somebody's reading The Last President, which is the third of the three Baron Trump collection books that are listed right here. Now, they posted a little section from the book right here, and I want to read it to y'all. So we'll start off up here. Executive Mansion, Washington, D.C., March 4th, 1897. 1897, March 4th, that was 123 years ago from today, 2021. Once we hit March 4th, 2021, then it'll be the 124th anniversary of this date. Now it says here, Executive Order Number 1. In order that there may be immediate relief in the terrible financial depression now weighing upon our beloved country, consequent upon and resulting from the unlawful combination of capitalists and moneylenders both in this republic and in England, and that the ruinous and inevitable progress toward a universal gold standard may be stayed. The President orders and directs the immediate abandonment of the so-called gold reserve, and that on and after the promulgation of this order, the gold and silver standard of the Constitution be resumed and strictly maintained in all the business transactions of the government. So does this paragraph right here, does any of it sound like it could apply to our present day? Absolutely. Immediate relief in this terrible financial depression. We are in need of immediate relief in this terrible financial depression that we're in right now. And then down here, after the promulgation of this order, the gold and silver standard of the Constitution be resumed and strictly maintained. So gold and silver, we know we're moving back to a gold or silver precious metals standard economy, and also standard of the Constitution, going back to constitutional law. And again, this was written 123 years ago. So 1, 2, 3, that's something we've seen in the Riddler decode world and the Q decode world. Bearable Guy 1, 2, 3, his username has 1, 2, 3 in the username. So you're starting to see just a little bit of why March 4th is relevant to now. We've got the year it was written, 1897, which is 123 years ago. And then the date itself, March 4th, that is significant as well. So the first important thing I want you guys to remember about March 4th is it is 120 days after our election that we had on November 3rd. So we have 3 days right here, and then there's the 4th. We're in March 2021 right now. So we'll just leave these 3-4 days out of the equation for now and add them back in at the end. So February, 28 days, January, 31 days, 31 and 28 is 59. December, 31 days, December 2020, 31 days, so 31 and 59, that is 90. And then November, 30 days, 90 plus 30 is 120. And then here, we have those 3 days right here, and then we had 3 days in March as well, so you can just call it even. It's 120 days after November 3rd. So March 4th, that is 120 days after November 4th, which is the day after we had our elections in 2020. All right, that's significant because according to Nisara Jisara establishes new presidential and congressional elections within 120 days after Nisara's announcement. The interim government will cancel all national emergencies and return us back to constitutional law. No, I just wanted to acknowledge real quick that I realize it says these elections will happen 120 days after Nassar's announcement, and we haven't really had Nassar's announcement yet. However, possibly we have had Nassar announced already. We just haven't had anybody decode it yet. So who knows? Maybe March 4th will be the day we have our new elections under constitutional law after Nassar Jassara. Who knows? But you guys can see March 4th, it's a significant date that we need to keep in the back of our minds as it's approaching. All right, now before I move on from these two pictures right here, I want to show you all something interesting. So when I went to save these to share them with my Telegram group, out of curiosity, I decided to search the text that came up when I saved the image. So when I click save, that's the text that is the text that comes up. So I searched that in gematria out of curiosity, and check out these results. So shapeshifter's eyes are out of alignment. POTUS, JFK Jr. So that's a pretty damn good result. People have debated whether or not Trump will be our next president or JFK will be our next president. Either way, I think we're all going to be happy. And then the end of the yellow brick road, the end of the rabbit hole. We're all so looking forward to the finale. I know we all are, but we just got to hold the line a little bit longer. Now, under English and simple gematria results, we got Washington obelisk. So the Washington Monument is actually an obelisk. So obelisks were these ancient stone structures that look like this. You can find them all over the world. There's one at the Vatican, there's the Washington Monument, they're in Egypt, Peru. People have different theories as to what they are and what they represent and all that. I personally tend to agree with some ancient alien theories that I've heard where these obelisks that are again all over the world and a lot of them on energy lines of the world, they are actually a part of a global energy grid that our ancient ancestors used and were able to get free energy from. And they were able to communicate with to each other across seas at a time when we didn't think that they were able to do half the things that they could actually do. You know, I mean, why do we see certain artifacts, symbolism, stories within the culture? Why are they repeated throughout different cultures that are at opposite ends of the world that supposedly had no way of communicating? You could argue it was collective conscious, or they were somehow in communication with each other and their cultures rubbed off on each other. So these obelisks, they were part of that ancient global free energy grid that our ancient ancestors used. That's what I personally believe. So the Washington Monument, the fact that they obviously built that after 1776. To be specific, the Washington Monument was designed back in the 1790s. They started construction in 1848, but they did not finish until 1884. So due to the fact that the Washington Monument is a recent build, it's a obelisk that was made just within the past couple hundred years, that tells me it's possible that there are still people using that free energy grid today without the general public knowing. It's possible that the Vatican and Washington, D.C., and other modern obelisks are tapping into an ancient energy grid.